Got family. Happy Friday to everyone. Hope everybody's doing great. Happy Friday to all of you. I wanted to say, hey, this is Marlene of the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, hit the like, subscribe, all of those YouTube things. So today on the podcast, I want to talk about the the older people, the elderly, the senior citizens, the disabled, even sometimes those with special needs, basically the community of people that get left behind a lot. And I can speak on this because I've worked with the special needs, I've worked with the elderly, and I've seen how the elderly or the special needs or the disabled feel. I see the expressions on their face, and many times in today's society, um, the elderly, the older people get left behind. So today's topic is check on your older friends and relatives. Don't forget about them. And I know that many of us were probably raised by some older family member. It does not always have to be your birth parents that show you love. Sometimes it's that auntie, it's your grandparents, it's an uncle, a grandparent, a cousin, somebody older that took a special interest in you, maybe as a child, but we forget sometimes because we're busy with our life. We forget to, you know, to call them. That can make their whole day. We can make our older ones, the infirmed, the disabled ones feel so good about themselves if we just call them to say, hey, ask them how they're doing and listen to them. We forget sometimes that they may not have a life anymore. They may have given up their whole life for us. I know in the case of, for me, I had a wonderful aunt who lived to be 102. Hey, Miss Jackie, how are you doing? Happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're well. I had a wonderful auntie, and I didn't know her until later in my life, but it was wonderful to have um, the experience from an older person. My aunt lived to be 102. Hey, Uncle Al, how are you doing? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I saw it yesterday. I really appreciate it. Yes, I'm doing well, Jackie. Thank you so much. I had a wonderful auntie who lived to be 102, and I learned so much from her. I think it's one of the reasons why I have the whatever the older person's aura, because I preferred to be around older people because they just went straight to the point and told you how things should be and whatever protected me. I think that being around older people protected me instead of being around the younger people. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with being around people your age, but I think because of the type of personality that I have, I get frustrated very quickly from people who are in my age group. I can't deal with the foolishness and the lies and the drama. I'd rather just somebody to be like straight to the point. So I had a wonderful aunt who lived to be 102, and she gave me a lot of experiences. And my parents had me older in life, and I feel like even though they were my parents, I kind of had like the grandparent kind of parent because I am the last of 10. So, my parents had me when they were more calm, more experienced. So, and as we get older, I get it. You have your life and you have your friends, you have things that you're trying to do, but don't forget about your parents, your aunts, your siblings, people who are disabled or have special needs that probably were there for you, and maybe now they don't have anybody else, especially your relatives that may have lost their spouses. Maybe their children or grandchildren have moved away. See, sometimes we move on with our life, but now this is the season in their life where they're depending on us to support them. I believe that life is a full circle. While somebody gave to us in the beginning, helped to raise us and care for us and teach us and all those things. And I think when we get older, 18 and up, now is our time to look at the ones that supported us and held us up. Now is our time to make sure we're protecting them, simple things like making sure that they have food to eat, make sure they have lights on in the house, lights on in the house, and water. Make sure that they're not in like this poverty thing, because I've seen that in healthcare, that their life doesn't go as planned. Like sometimes they didn't plan on living as long, and maybe their money is running out, or they have to settle in whether they're going to pay for either a bill or buy some groceries. So we do need to check on our older people. And even for me, sometimes it could be a neighbor or somebody that you know of. Because now my parents are no longer living, but my mom and my dad's friends, I still go by and check on them because they were their friends, and I want them to know I didn't forget about some of the things that they instilled in me when I was younger. And yeah, that they're still important and special. It's important that we make the older ones feel that we appreciated them. We appreciated their time, their effort, their protection. I'm so grateful of the older ones that grabbed me up and snatched me up. Like, what are you doing with your life? Get on track. Because I definitely got off track for a little minute. But then I got back on track, and I'm grateful for the ones that weren't afraid to tell me, you don't want to make a decision like this. You want to do better with your life. And some people didn't have that, but I'm grateful that I had wonderful, older people in my life, and they told me what it was. Like, they taught me lessons that now, as I am in probably the same age they were when they told me things, now I can teach somebody else. I think it's important to pay it forward. When you learn lessons, give back to the community, give back to other people. My aunt was really big in giving to different organizations, like for mental health, for women, for homeless men. There's a lot of organizations that I do on the side because of what I saw growing up. And it teaches you to not focus in on your own problems. Yeah, maybe sometimes we do struggle, but instead of, for me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but for me personally, instead of giving to certain organizations, certain thrift stores, I would rather give my clothes and other things that I want to donate to organizations to where people can get it and not have to pay for it. Just give to the community fully, 100%. There's no greed involved. It goes from whatever you give to them, it goes straight to the community. And I like that. So that's something that I like to do, to give back. I think if everybody in the community just gave a little bit, and it doesn't have to be a lot, even sometimes I do simple things like, now it's about to get colder. Me and a few of my friends, we do this every year. We have a coat drive where we buy coats, socks, underwear, some toiletries, and in a bag for people who are disadvantaged, and give it to them. And it doesn't always have to be people on the street. You would be surprised how many people that are going to a job don't own a coat, need a pair of sneakers or boots. some simple things. And I'm definitely not a rich person, but I'm not in the space to where I'm outdoors. So I try to give back as much as I can. Yeah, Miss Jackie, that's compassion. And it's something that we have to learn. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I'm so much in my own world. I'm so focused on what I need, and I got these bills, and yeah, and of course, because you got to take care of yourself, but at the same time, we can't forget about people who held us down. Your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends. So, and I believe that I've been living on my blessings. I believe that 100%. I've been living on my blessings because I've seen it like almost immediately. I don't know if you all have as well, but sometimes when you like give somebody your last, and then do you find that you get a double back? Like I've given my last $5 to somebody, and then somebody will come along and say, "Oh, hey, here's the $10 that you gave me," and I don't even remember I gave a $10. I don't know. It happens to me so often that I believe 100% to have faith. You know, if somebody is in need, and if it's in the power of your hand to help and support others, by all means do it. You know, I don't mean to do it all the time, and then, you know, you got to be reasonable and realistic. But if you're able to do a kind deed, you know, something as simple as buying somebody a meal, going to the grocery store and picking up a few items where it would be probably pretty difficult for an older person to get up and go in the grocery store, then do that. Especially if you're going to the grocery store at the same time. I have a neighbor and a friend of my mother that I will go once a week and pick up an item or two that they need. I'm going to be in there anyways, so why not help somebody else? As Miss Jackie said, that's compassion. And, you know, I have to remind myself sometimes to keep my head out of the whatever, like feeling low and feeling down. Excuse me. Sometimes I feel like, oh, like what does it matter that or I can't give that much? It's not about how much you have. It's about what you do with what you have. It doesn't have to be $100, $500. Sometimes just buying someone something that costs just a few bucks can make a big deal for somebody. So whatever it is that you can do for your friends, for your family, for your loved ones, for those who are infirmed and disabled, those who have special needs, we know the group of people that are ignored in today's society, and it sickens me. It makes me literally nauseous, sickens me to my stomach. It's disgusting to me. The people who can't do anything, those who are homeless. Sometimes even we can't forget those who become incarcerated, and society shuns them. They need a little handout. They need a little support so that they can get on their feet. And if we can do something to give back, why not? I'm a person that it makes me feel good to know that I can support somebody else, even in a little simple thing. You know, sometimes it's as simple as there's a group. I don't, depending on your area, but they have groups here in my area that helps people who are trying to find a job. And what they need, you know how it is when you're in between a job, when you're trying to get a job, sometimes some ladies need like a business suit. They need a pair of shoes, sneakers, and they have like, they write it down on a piece of paper what it is that they need, the size, whatever, what color, like it black or navy blue, khaki pants, and people sponsor and gift them that. What do you call that? I can't remember what it's called right now, but something like a gift of angels or something. But people give back and help them, you know, and you can remain anonymous or you can put your name on it. It's up to you. But I like to do things like that. And it doesn't have to be anything expensive. Sometimes it's something that costs $5 or $10. And for me, $5 or $10 isn't going to break me, but it would make a world of difference to somebody else. So when I can, I try to at least once a month go to that shelter and offer to do something nice. You know, I'll go and take the paper and then go and buy whatever it is that they need. And it makes me feel good. I'm not telling you all that's what you should do. I'm just saying open up your mind to maybe doing something in your local community that you can give back. Something simple. Doesn't have to be a big deal. Even something as simple as paying it forward, buying somebody's gas. Simple things. Doesn't have to be anything big, but it makes a big difference to somebody. There's a lot of people out here who are living from paycheck to paycheck. And like I said earlier, they have to make a decision whether they're going to get gas or they're going to eat some food. And no human being should have to be hungry because they just are not making enough money or they're going through something in their life. So something as simple as that, I think it's important to do. Give back to others. And I find that you will get your mind off of your own problems and you will feel good about yourself. So getting back on the topic and talking about all of these things, I think is so important to see a smile on the face of your loved ones, whether it's your aunt, your uncle, your parents, your friends, people in your local community. It doesn't have to be your actual blood relatives, but you know, I believe that we are all part of the human race. We all have feelings. We all want to be loved, and sometimes, unfortunately, people fall on hard times and they don't get the support they need from their own relatives. So, people in the community should step up and support whatever they can to help others, because I'm a person, I believe in 100%. When you give back, you get back. I find it's crazy. I've been blessed in my life that when I give back to others, when I fall on hard times, I really have been blessed to be able to, when I fall on hard times, I find it easily that people will assist me. I don't know. I don't know if it's because of how I treat people or what it is, but I may struggle for a little bit, but I don't struggle for long. Jackie says, problems can't be resolved with the same thing that created the problem, right? There has to be somebody that has to say, you know what? I'm going to help. I'm going to help. I'm going to give back. And if we cannot give financially, this is what I want to say too. Sometimes we may not be able to give any money, but can we volunteer our time? You know, just something as simple as going to a nursing home and sitting with some of the older folks and just talking to them. Even something as simple as giving them a hug. Can you imagine being stuck inside of a home, not being able to walk, and not feeling like you were cared for? You feel abandoned, you feel sad, you're in a new environment, and your life is not what you expected it to be. Most of them expected to live the rest of their life with their husband or their wife, and their children or grandchildren live in other states, and they're just there. So that's something that we can do too. And it doesn't have to be with older people. We can volunteer our time however you want to volunteer, but give back. Give of your time. Give to boys and girls clubs and whatever organization that you want to. But give of your time to others, because when we give, we receive. Yeah. Yeah, blessings don't always have to be money. Blessings come in all forms. Exactly. And that's what I was reminded just now to talk about, that volunteering your time. You know, time is a very precious commodity, and we have to be like really space out our time because we're all busy people. I know I'm busy. I know you all are busy too. But could you give 30 minutes to an hour to volunteer, to just sit down and talk with somebody, to encourage a younger person, to give to somebody who has special needs, maybe to volunteer to take someone to a doctor appointment, or to, but whatever it is, something that they want to do so that they feel special and important and loved. It doesn't always have to be our relatives, but you know, I always believe that the first group that you should show love to is your own relatives, if that's possible. If it's not, maybe you don't have your relatives around you, but you can always give back in your community, give back to others. And I know that I live for when I see certain people that I volunteer my time and they see me again, and I can see a smile on their face. I can see the joy that they're experiencing because I took time out of my day to come and visit them, even if for a few minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't even have to be 30 minutes. Even if you say you just have 10 minutes. I just wanted to say hi. And I was thinking about you. You know, I've done that. Go and check on certain people in the nursing home, or if I know somebody's in the hospital, or even something as simple as somebody you know and maybe they can't reach the top shelf to take something down. So, you know, sometimes it's not even that you have to do anything financially. Sometimes they just want, can you can you open up this jar? They may not be able to because maybe they have arthritis in their hands. Open up a jar for them. Maybe start a load of laundry for them. Simple, some things that are probably simple to us, it gets difficult based on what they're going through. Maybe a health problem, maybe they have a bad hip, or they have some issues with their hands. But sometimes just the fact that you stop by to check on them, maybe they don't need anything, but just the thought that you took time out of your day to come and visit them and just to say hello, that can mean a lot to others. Jackie says sometimes the smallest things make the biggest impact, and it does. And I'm so grateful for all of the people who actually think about others. It's a gift that we can give to others, whether it's our relatives, it's our friends, it's somebody in our community. We can make another person feel good. And I know I don't talk about this very often, but could we also give back and mentor another young woman or another young man? We can do a lot to give back. You know, I've been on that side of feeling down and depressed as a woman. Could you give back to a young girl or a young lady that has been in the position? Maybe they've lost. Maybe they've made some poor decisions. You know, sometimes encouraging somebody with your words, you know, telling somebody to not give up because they're feeling discouraged or they are going through some depression or something like that. You know, we never know what somebody else is going through. We don't. I can't say I know how other people feel because I'm not a mind reader, but I know one thing, that as humans, everybody gets down sometimes. And just having somebody that comes around that cares about how we feel and asks, are you okay? Do you want somebody to listen to, you know? Or I'm just here to support you. Just to reassure people that they matter in this life. You know, that can go a very long way. Maybe in their own relatives, they don't feel that they matter. Maybe a person just lost their spouse or significant other. Maybe their children have moved away. Or maybe they were a person that never got the chance to ever have relationships or ever have children because of maybe they have a mental illness, or maybe they have a physical disability, and they're just basically always alone. Could you do something nice? You know, go and take them out. Take them to the park, take them for a ride around the community, do some sort of mentorship and give back to others. I know every single time that I give even 30 minutes of my day, even to take somebody to an appointment, to take them to the park, go to the movies, take them to the mall, just simple things, or just go to their home, just sit down and talk to them for a few minutes, or a younger person, do something that a young person wants to do. Take them to get a hamburger or ice cream, something that is not a big deal, but just you taking an interest in somebody else will be a big deal for them. So while it's not a big deal to us, maybe it's something, oh, what is that? I know for me personally, when I think about hospitality and supporting others, I always feel like I have to do these big deeds. And it's something that costs a lot of money, that you got to spend like $50, $100, $200 to make an impact. Sometimes it doesn't have to even be that you have to spend $1. Sometimes it's just taking 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes out of your day just to say, hey, how are you doing? I was thinking about you. I just wanted to see you. And I was thinking about you. I like to do that from time to time. There's certain people that I know live in the homeless areas. I go and visit certain people that I know are in nursing homes. I go to those who have special needs and disabilities and just volunteer, just spend an hour doing something, helping them with something, making them feel good. I know that it sounds strange, but giving somebody a hug, you would never understand how much that makes somebody feel. I had an older lady one time, and she said it has been years since somebody has hugged her. I had to turn my head because I wanted to shed some tears. We forget about that physical contact and how much it matters to other people. Just giving somebody a hug, just telling somebody that they're important and special, that really means a lot. Jackie says, I personally think that people don't show others loving compassion. Was never taught that growing up. Education begins at home first. Miss Jackie, I think that's true. Well, I didn't get that in my personal home, but other people that I was around, like my parents' friends and people in my community, from my aunts, I would see people on TV giving back. I think I've always been inside of me a compassionate person, but I just never knew what to do with my time, with my energy. And I had to learn that it does not have to be, you don't have to make a big deal to make a big impact. Don't. We can give to people just kindness. Even something as simple as saying hello. Even going to nursing home, and I just sit with an older lady and I just hold her hand and smile and listen to her talk about, it doesn't have to be something that's important to me, but maybe she has something she wants to get out. Or I'll take their clothes down to the laundry to make sure that they have enough clean clothes, because people who work in these nursing home and facilities, they're busy. So I'll go and put a load of laundry in the laundry room and bring it back, fold it up, hang it up in their closet, and then I'll leave. It may not be a big deal to me, but it's a big deal to them. Maybe now they'll have some clean clothes to wear. Maybe, bringing them a treat. Maybe just having a conversation. But giving back is something that we don't think that is something important, but I like to put myself in another person's shoes. What if I was that older person? What if I was that person who had special needs? What if that was me? How would I want to be treated? And we have to remember sometimes as humans that at any point in our life, our situation can change. Right now, you could be good, you could be okay, you have a job. But what about if you lose your job? What about if you lose your home? What if the person that you are depending on to support you can't support you anymore. It's all of those things that I like to remember, and and give my time when I can, give some money when I can, give support when I can. One thing that we can always do is we can always give kindness. We can always show love. We can always be compassionate. We can always be a listening ear. That goes a long way. I believe that 100%. It goes a long way to give somebody a listening ear, just to say, I'm here for you if you want to talk. You know, I'm not going to interrupt you, but go ahead, talk about anything you want to. I'm here to support you. And you just let them talk. You know, having somebody get that relief, get something off their chest. Hey, realist, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. Getting somebody to get something off their chest. And, you know, I start with the youth, you know, younger people. You would never believe the things that younger people are experiencing. It's a lot. Things are different than when we probably were in school. They have different pressures from society, from their peers. So, you know, I like to remind the younger girls, you know, that one day, you know, this too shall pass. And the kids, that the girls that are bullying you, maybe you feeling that you are lacking in confidence, that will change. You know, don't give up. Don't listen to what other people are saying. You know, I like to remind younger people to be your own self, to be your own individual. I wish that was something that I had when I was younger. I wish I had some older person tell me that my life isn't always going to be this miserable, that one day the people that are driving me crazy or who I don't like, they're not going to even matter to you. Like, sometimes we need to remind the younger people that just because you're struggling with something right now, just because people are treating you a certain way, don't make one bad decision to ruin your life. Because these kids will go with a knife or a gun or something and commit this crime and ruin the rest of their life. You know, I like to encourage the younger people, you know, keep your calm, chill, go for a walk, take a break, you know, talk to somebody, but don't hold all of that inside. I think that's important to tell the younger people as well as older people, because sometimes we forget as adults. We got to talk about things too, whether it's your parents, aunts, uncles, whoever, friends, young people, disabled people. Everybody has feelings, but especially the ones that are shut in, they really don't have a life. You know, they're not going anywhere really anymore. They're kind of shut in, probably confined to their bed, confined to a wheelchair. I think about those things sometimes, and how I would feel sitting in a wheelchair all day, how I would feel laying in the bed all day. Wouldn't feel good. I wouldn't like it. So I like to give back in my community. Not as much as I want to, but I like to at least once a month, I like to give back and do something, whether it's going to the homeless shelter and volunteering, you know, my time to, you know, share the food, maybe just talk to them, go to the nursing home, volunteer my time, do a few things for some people that I vibe with in the nursing home, or give back to a neighbor, help out. You know, something as simple as bringing down their garbage can, because it's hard for them to do that. You know, I have a little old lady, and I do that every week. I go and pull down her garbage can, and then the next day I go and pull it back down, or go by and ask her if she needs for me to open any jars. For me, it's a simple thing. It's not a big deal. How long will that take me? 20, 30 seconds? Not much, but, you know, it matters to somebody. You know, other people may not be able to see it, but they see it. And, you know, that's basically what I wanted to come on and to say. I didn't have that much to say, but I feel like this was a powerful discussion and conversation. Don't forget about your elderly. Don't forget about the infirm. Don't forget about those who have special needs, those who are disabled, the homeless, you know, the single parents. Don't forget about the youth, because they need us. Everybody needs some encouragement. Everybody needs somebody to lean on. So, you know, each one teach one. Encourage, support, listen, all of those things. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's conversation. Thanks for tapping in. I truly appreciate it. I wanted to do a short one today because I'm about to get out, handle business. You know how it is on Friday. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Thanks. Shout out to all my amazing moderators. Thank you, Miss Jackie, Realist One, Uncle L, and any of my mods that are maybe in the background listening at work or whatever, and those who watch me on the replay. Thank you all so much for your support, and those who are watching my playlist. When this live is over, I'm going to put a playlist. I have a playlist that I would like to have be played. So it's all of those things. So thank you guys so much for your support, and I thank you very much. Hi, Old Cookie. I appreciate everybody's support. Thank you guys so much. Give back, give kindness, show love, show compassion. It doesn't take much to make an impact to others. Everybody have a great rest of your day. I am Marlene of the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, hit the like, subscribe, and leave me a comment in the comment section below. And I will see you guys back on the next one. Bye.